Welcome back, guys, to yet another World of Warcraft video on this channel. Today we are going to be talking a little bit about bags. Yes, that's right, tailoring bags, especially because those are the ones that are the big talk of the game in Dragonflight, and I basically want to give you guys a little bit of a look into what I've been making gold on with the bags. And if you guys haven't done anything with the bags, so you might be like, I can't make gold. I'm here to explain how I make gold with it and how good it actually is to make the higher versions too. But before we do get into it, make sure that you guys drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. And I also do want to make sure to thank every single one of the patrons supporting me over on Patreon every single month. It is greatly appreciated. And if you guys are interested in getting some of the same benefits, then on tier 2 over on the Patreon, you can get access to TSM groups, shopping list for Point Blank Sniper, which is for Auctionator, and you can also get access to a very long document of daily gold making activities for an alt army. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, make sure that you hop on over and check that out over on the Patreon. But let's get straight into this video. So to basically give you guys an idea, there are 4 bags in tailoring for Dragonflight, okay? And the first 2, which is the simply stitched reagent bag and the wild cloth bag, these guys you get as you level up tailoring from the trainer. These are something you get very, very early on. They're also very good. Don't ignore them just because they're easy to craft. They're very good. The 2 other ones are the Assure Weave Expedition pack and the Chrono Cloth reagent bag. Now these 2 are pretty hard to get because you need to get to a specific renown. Dragon Accord, you need to get to 23 renown before you can get the Chrono Cloth reagent bag. And when it comes to the Dragon Scale Expedition, you need to hit, what was it, 19 renown with those before you can get access to do those bags. But they are very, very, very good, so don't miss out, okay? The other thing, if you want to spec into just crafting bags on a character, that is very easy, because something that is important to realize when it comes to bags is the only thing that matters is resourcefulness. Nobody cares about crafting speed because you can use files for that, and you know, when you're just crafting bags, it's not going to matter much. So resourcefulness is what you're going for, which is basically getting the highest amount of resourcefulness that you can from a profession tool and the other profession gear that you have, and then specifically from specialization points. Now, where you want to go first, if all you want to do is focus on just bags, you put 5 points into textiles and 30 points into embroidery. Embroidery is going to give you resourcefulness when you learn it, and also resourcefulness along the way. And you also get to use embroidery thread, and this is the embroidery thread that's being talked about, the shimmering embroidery thread. And you can see here that when you're crafting, increases reagent saved from resourcefulness by 25%. So that means every single time the resourcefulness procs, it saves an additional 25%. Now, the other thing that you want to get into, if you really, really care about it, that is a little bit for other stuff, but this is sparing sewing. This is after embroidery and textiles. You can put 10, I think it's 10 points into tailoring mastery, and then you can go sparing sewing, because what this says is that this goes over resourcefulness for crafting tailoring goods, okay? I haven't tested 100% whether or not this works on bags especially, but if you are crafting bags and you're going for resourcefulness first, then that would be the next step. I haven't been able to test if that works 100%, so I'm not sure on that. The one that I am sure on is the embroidery, so go there first, okay? And then other than that, you obviously just want to get resourcefulness on an enchant and on a tool. Now, to show you when you're crafting bags, right now, you might be looking at a Wilder Cloth bag on your auction house, and you'll be like, oh, well, San, I can't craft this for a profit. If I'm buying the Wilder Cloth bolts, I can't craft this for a profit. Something a lot of people don't realize is that bags, they don't matter for skill, okay? So you can buy the cheapest material. It doesn't matter what rank it is, you can just buy it, okay? So something like a Wilder Cloth bolt, if you're looking on the auction house right now, the cheapest Wilder Cloth bolt is going to be the rank 2. So instead of paying 9 gold, 29 or 27 silver, I can't even read, it would be 4 gold and 16 silver. So instead, when we're looking at that, right? So a Wilder Cloth bag currently on my realm, which is obviously a realm specific thing, they're 158 gold. So if I were to craft this right now with rank-free bolts, this probably wouldn't be very much profit, right? Obviously, every time I proc resourcefulness with an additional finishing reagent on there, it still would be profit. But I can lower the crafting cost in half by just buying the rank 2 bolts, which is really, really important to think about. And the same thing goes for the higher ones that uses the Sureweave bolts and also Chronocloth reagent bolts. It's something that people do not think about at all. A lot of people don't actually realize that you can do this. So that's what I want to say, right? So you can actually, instead, here we're looking at a crafting cost of what? With the spools, maybe like 60, 70 gold. And then every single time you proc a resourcefulness, then that lowers the crafting cost even more. So depending on your realm, depending on the prices, there's probably some really good gold to be had in Wildcloth bags and simply Stitch reagent bags. And if you cannot get to these two very early on, well, then you still have some gold to have in these. Now, obviously, bags are going to do well, or at least better, if you're on a bigger server. And I'm obviously on a full pub server, so for me, it's been good. But to give you guys an idea of how good it's been, I'll show you the bag sales for the last month, which is all the bag sales that I've had since the expansion launched. Actually, we'll go over Wildcloth first, if I can, if I may, TSM. Now, obviously, with TSM, I have lost some sales, so it's not going to be 100% accurate. But just to give you guys an idea, we have sold 2,000, as it says, 2,686 bags for an average of 130 gold. And in most cases, we have crafted this for half the price of what we sold it for, maybe even less. So this is a very good amount. And what I do, at least on my realm, is I just post these once a day, really. And I get a lot of sales in these because there's not a lot of competition, because people don't think about the profession stats. And they also don't consider the fact that bags do not require high skilled materials or high quality ranks, basically. And if you're wondering whether or not the bigger bags sell, if I could spell a Sureweave right, which it seems that I cannot, a Sureweave Expedition packs right here, we've sold 785 of these, okay? Which is good, right? Obviously, the profit is all dependent on when I bought the materials, but currently they're about, you know, like I would say give or take 1,000 gold profit, and then every single time we proc resourcefulness, it's obviously even more, which is super good when you're up in those levels of crafting. And the same thing goes for the Chronocloth reagent bag. Obviously, with the reagent bag, it's never going to sell. It's never going to sell as much as a regular bag, because you only have one reagent bag slot. But we've still been able to, from, you know, somewhat averagely posting these a couple times a day or once a day, we've still been able to sell, in the last 2 weeks, we've still been able to sell 96 of them. So I'm pretty happy with that. It's about an average of what, for like, how much is that? 8 a day or something like that? I can't even, 96 divided by 15, 6.4 a day. So 6 or 7 every day, which is pretty good considering the sell prices that we get on these. Obviously, there is a crafting cost to them, and it depends on how many resourcefulness procs and what the prices are, depending on your region and all that. But just don't forget about the bags, because the bags are great and they're making me a good amount of gold. So far, they've made me great amounts of gold, and I'm going to continue making great amounts, super high amounts of gold on these bags. Hopefully, this video was useful to you guys, or shed a light on something that you might not have been thinking about. Maybe you forgot about it, or it's been overshadowed by a lot of other things, which it definitely does happen for me as well. But yeah, I hope this video was helpful to you guys, and if you have any questions, make sure that you drop them down in the comments below. I'd love to talk about it. And yeah, that's basically everything that I have for this video. So until the next one, see you guys.